comes Islands. Loops to Jewell. Turnaround. Short. Rebound. Jewell gets his own. Goes back up with it. Missed it. Gets the rebound. Missed again.
Well, he got jostled around enough there, Paul, where he couldn't quite get set to put the ball in the basket, but he is way above everybody. It looks like he's going to get a lot of balls off the board.
A clear out for Turner, and Jewell was waiting at the end, but Turner got the ball over the top. Tucker, rather.
Anderson plays a lot of basketball in the summertime, and you can see how some of these shots, it may look like the guy was off balance on that shot, Tucker, but he was not off balance, knew what he was doing when he put that ball in the basket.
Islands from the corner. A little short. The rebound comes out to Kelly.
Very good shot for Joe Island.
Westerfield. Over Jewell and scores. The freshman has 4 points.
The freshman, pretty tough.
Jeff's down 6. Jewell. Missed again. He's 0 for 4.
Jeff's got to slow it down a little, take their time, get their feet on the ground. They're just a little over anxious right now. They can get excellent shots against Anderson's zone. There's no question about it.
Tucker. He has 4 points.
Great individual move by Tucker.
Anderson is 5 of 5 from the floor. Jeff 2 of 8.
Yeah,
And the Indians off to an 8-point lead.
They're loose. Anderson's loose. Jeff's tight.
Both teams getting good shots. Islands pulls up. Shoots.
Oh, that was way too hard.
Well, I didn't hear him call glass, but it's pretty loud in here. Foul called on Jeff. It's on Jewell, his first. Second team foul on the Broncos.
Jeff's getting out to a very, very poor start. I think they're playing a little too fast. The tempo just a little too much for them. They should slow it down a little bit.
A timeout on the floor. Anderson on top, 12-4. We'll be back with more semi-state action after this. Paul Stouter and Bill Berberian back live at Lafayette Jeff's Crawley Athletic Center, where the Anderson Indians have blitzed Lafayette Jeff with a 5-for-5 shooting performance in the first 3 minutes and 35 seconds here of the first period. Anderson 5 of 5 from the floor and off to a 12-4 lead. Jeff is 2 for 9 from the floor. Mark Jewell 0 for 3. Joe Islands 0 for 3.
Jeff's lined up now. Looks like they're going to try their one. No, they're going into a man-to-man. Jeff really is going to come back in this ball game because they're getting excellent shots. Everything seems to be going Anderson's way. They're getting the ball where they want it. But Jeff seems to be getting excellent shots on offense, and they're going to score if they'll get over this little bit of nervousness at the beginning of the game.
Islands dropped the ball out of bounds after Kelly missed the bunny underneath. Anderson's first miss. Tucker brings it up. Kelly. Anderson is not this kind of shooting team. I mean, statistically, Bill, they shot 52% in the tournament, but during the season they were under 50%.
They're awfully loose, and they have a lot of confidence right now because they've made a few. There's Jewell.
Jewell finally gets one to fall, and Jeff is back on the board after Anderson had jumped off to a 14-point lead. So it's 14-6 now.
Anderson playing a lot of one-on-one basketball right now, and I don't know Here's a 1-3-1 trap by Jeff. I don't know whether that's the best defense against Anderson. Gives them a lot of opening. With their quickness, they're going to get a lot of good shots, Paul.
Well, Kelly went back door to half-cock. Anderson back up now by 9. Crawley and Beaver have jump shots around the top all day if they want to take them, and Beaver hits that one.
They're just taking that little extra bit of time to shoot the ball makes all the difference as to whether it goes in or not.
Now with 45 seconds left in the quarter, half-cock drives to the top, pulls up, rolls it out. Jeff now a chance to cut it to 5. They have 35 seconds.
The momentum certainly swung to Jeff's right now. They're taking it. There's a good shot for Beaver.
Hits it again. Ron Beaver doing the outside shooting. 3 of 5 from the floor for Jeff with 6 points. Anderson with 20 seconds. The Jeff fans have something to cheer about. They're making a little noise. The trap.
Now they're playing that tough man-to-man defense. It should really help them against Anderson.
Steal by
there it is.
5 seconds left in the quarter. Jeff needs to get the tip up. A foul call.
3-2 zone defense, strong across the front, giving the point guard a lot of room to shoot it, testing the point guard to see if he can shoot from out there. And if he doesn't shoot, they pack it back in there as far as they can, preventing the ball going into Mark Jewell. And you'll notice Fox goes right back into the real deep to help out on Jewell. There he is right there.
As soon as the ball goes into Jewell, Westerfield will play him between
of the coach's nightmare. You don't ever want to see a team get a bunny on you like that. That's really bad.
1:44 left here in the first half, and Anderson back to its 11-point lead. Adams is fouled. Kelly trying to go for the ball, got in front. Again, the cross-court
pass, and Anderson trying to steal the ball, sliding with Adams. Adams done a nice job since he's been in there. He's pretty loose and helping the cause with those 2 key rebounds. Now he can help them with these free throws, and Jeff needs them now to get back into it. They closed the gap to about 3. Now it's back out to 11. Paul
Kelly sits down with his 3rd foul. Adams misses the foul shot. Halfcock the rebound, goes long to Westerfield, but a jump ball called before. It'll be the Broncos' possession.
Beaver did an outstanding job of leaping and tying up the ball in that situation to cause a jump ball, or it would have been an easy Anderson basket. As it is, Jeff has possession and can score.
Islands is back in, and Wilson checks back in. So the only change from the starting 5 on the floor now for Jeff is Heron at point.
Oh, very poor pass. Not much zip on that ball.
No, a team as quick as Anderson can get to a lob pass.
Oh, they'll get to it in a hurry. That's right, Paul.
A minute 18, Jeff down 11. Wilson has it back in his face. Tucker. Newsom in the game, 43 missed. Westerfield put back no good.
Oh, there it is.
Throws
Good
long
outlet.
to Beaver.
Beaver's got 2.
And he scores. Ron Beaver with 14. A minute left, Jeff back within 9.
And there's a case where a great play by Jewell on the outlet pass got the basket for Jeff. And they needed that one badly. They're calling for one shot, it looks like.
With the 9-point lead.
Yep.
Halfcock missed it. Fox, good position, gets the tip.
A garbage basket by Fox. That's what he's in there for.
Jeff has 20
seconds. Maybe they'll play for the last shot here. Looks like they're going to.
This is Heron with 15. Heron takes the shot. Islands will put
Great
back.
play by Island. Big basket for Jeff.
28%, and he has 6 points. Ed Wilson with 3, Joe Islands with 4, and Lafayette Jeff with 6 turnovers, Anderson with 6 turnovers, and the Broncos shooting just 38% from the floor, 5 of 9 at the line for 56%. So Jeff with the lid on the basket a little bit, trailing right now by 9.
Jewell is going to play better in the second half, Paul. He's bound to play better, but at the same time, I think the reason for it is that he's been bumped around in the first half. He's gotten accustomed to that, and I think he's going to be a little more determined and go up hard for that ball, go up hard when he shoots the ball, and he'll be more successful in putting it in the basket. Beavers played an outstanding game for Jeff in the first half. If he wouldn't have had his ball game, they'd have been in a lot of trouble. But in any case, the real story of the first half is that Anderson is playing their type of ball, and it's just like they like this run and shoot basketball, and it looks like they're playing out on the playground right now. They're so loose, and Jeff is a little tight, and that's made a difference. But I think it'll change in the second half. Jeff's going to get their feet on the ground, then it's going to be quite a ball game.
Of the 11 points Anderson leads, or the 9 points Anderson leads by right now, they have 8 points on turnovers. So they have converted several Jeff turnovers into buckets, easy buckets, and that's part of the difference in the game as well.
At times, Jeff's ball handling was a little shoddy. They had people out of position forcing some passes, and as you mentioned, a good observation, Paul, the quickness of Anderson. You can't throw that ball up in the air and leave it what they should play now to come back in this ball game. See if they get a good shot here, Paul.
Island. Beaver with 16 points. Now
Oh, great.
18. Ron Beaver leads all scorers.
Good patience, good shot.
If Anderson decides to keep packing it in, Kelly, Wilson
Good
aboard.
rebound.
Jeff can cut it to 2. If
Wilson.
Anderson continues to pack it in, Bill, Jeff should be able to get the outside shot.
A little too far. A little more patience. Oh, get that ball. Oh, it had to be a foul somewhere in there.
Kelly down to Westerfield. Crawley knocks it away. Halfcock. Bad shot.
Bad shot by Halfcock.
It was 1-on-3.
It's unbelievable how much room they leave between the top of the key and the free throw line when that ball goes down.
Crawley threads the needle to Jewell. And Westerfield kicked it. It'll be Jeff's ball out on the side.
I think that works in Jeff's favor because they need to settle down here. They can get all the good shots they want if they'll just make that extra pass or two right now.
Anderson would like to keep the tempo frantic.
There it is.
Beaver hits again, and he has 20. We have played 3 minutes of the third quarter, and Jeff is within 2, the closest they've been since the outset.
Jeff's defense is what's really the underlying factor here. They're getting possession of the ball, forcing their shot.
Halfcock was fouled, or Halfcock hit Kelly, rather, and Kelly was fouled. Jewell picks up the personal. That'll be the third one on Mark.
Here's the play. Quickness again. Gets around Wilson and then fouled by Jewell. All he had to do was raise those arms up, and he never could have shot over him.
If you're Jim Hamill now, do you think about taking Jewell out with 3 fouls this early in the third quarter, 4:43 to go?
Well, not at this point I wouldn't because they're still behind in the ball game.
Kelly, normally a good foul shooter, misses this one. He's normally a 75% foul man. Kelly with 3 fouls is Anderson's leading scorer. Kelly coming in averaging 18 points a game. 19 points a game, actually. It's the second. It's back to a 3-point lead. Wilson steps inbound.
What was on the line, Paul? Just barely on the line.
Well, Crawley wasn't there to take the pass, and Wilson tried to get it inbounds quickly to beat Anderson's pressure, and Crawley wasn't there to throw it to. Wilson was off balance and stepped on the line. Halfcock. He has 12 now.
He's really the difference. That was a
Jewell
foul.
is fouled.
That was a foul.
Silly foul by Fox, really. At midcourt, he went for the steal, and then Jewell got the ball, and he hit him on the arm.
Jewell's moving the ball a little bit when he gets in his hands now so that he will get fouled. He realizes the quickness is there, and he can't just stand there and hold the ball.
Islands, Beaver will shoot.
They're a little bit too far out.
Westerfield. The foul's going to be called underneath.
Halfcock had great position underneath the board.
Wilson, the putback. Doesn't get it to fall, gets his own rebound. The ball's kicked by Tucker. It'll be Jeff ball. So the Broncos again a chance to cut it. They're down 4. They can cut it to 2, which is the closest that they've been.
Hard work by Wilson. He really hustled to get that rebound after his shot.
Highlands has to shake off some misfortune now. 1 of 3 from the, or 1 of 4 from the foul stripe.
Beaver. New
You know, Jeff is under 50% from the line, Bill.
Boy,
and in a close ball game like this,
their tournament free throws have been awfully good in the sectional and the regional.
Wilson gets them both.
Two big ones. 3-point ball game.
7 minutes to go.
There's a half-court zone trapping defense by Jeff. Kelly. Oh, not too good a shot. Oh, the ball bounced to Anderson. Kelly. Fox. The old garbage man, the guy that gets them back in with those baskets here and there.
5-point lead again for the Indians.
Pressure by Anderson.
Jewell comes up to help out.
Back into that flat 3-2 zone.
The ball into Jewell.
And here, Jewell should score. Oh,
air ball from 5. Half-top. Really forced that one. Jewell comes down with the board.
Island's going all the way. And he got called on the foul. He was fouled. There was no question about it being fouled.
We haven't seen a charge called yet.
Here it is.
Westerfield wasn't set long enough.
Was not quite in position. Paul, one of the problems at this stage of the game is Jeff is going to go down and try to get their shots sooner than usual, and that is Anderson's type of ball game. So they'll be running up. It's going to be a running ball game here, up tempo, and Anderson has the edge there, I think, in playing that type of game.
Norm Held elects to call timeout. Anderson with a 5-point lead, but Joe Islands a pair of foul shots when we come back. Warren Central on top of Connorsville in the third quarter at Indianapolis. Again, the winner of the Lafayette semi-state plays the winner of the Indianapolis semi-state next Saturday at Market Square Arena in the Final Four. Ron Beaver right now leads everyone with 22 points for Lafayette Jeff. Derek Hathcock has 13 for Anderson. Kelly has 9, Fox, Westerfield, and Tucker 8 apiece.
Shooting percentages for the teams, well, you mentioned them that they're not very good, are they, Paul?
In the second half, Anderson has shot 18% from the floor, but Jeff has shot not much better, just 27% from the floor. And Island's normally a good free throw shooter, 1 of 4 at the line, and Jeff as a team 9 of 18 at the line. Islands has 2 shots here.
Jeff certainly playing great defense in this half. It hasn't been their defense that's the reason for their being behind. It's been their offense. They just haven't been able to shoot it quite well enough to get the points to be ahead.
Islands leaves this in short. The rebound to Rod Adams. Too hard off the glass, and Anderson gets the rebound.
Oh, he carried it.
Kelly turned it over.
I think Jeff's defense has really caused a lot of problems to Anderson. They're not playing their ball game now. They're getting a little edgy. Good pass.
Blocked. Islands is called now on the reach-in.
Give credit to Hathcock again, Paul. There, he was the one that blocked the shot. Great athlete. There, he just knocked it out. He just knocked it away there, and Kelly got the ball.
It's gone.
Jewell
It's on
very
Fox.
determined at this stage of the ball game. He wants to take charge here, and he forced himself right in there and got the foul.
Fox fouls out with 11 points. He didn't give Jewell room enough to turn.
Anderson fans showing their appreciation for a boy that did a great job for them today, Fox, senior.
Well, Barrett in the ball game now, a bad free throw shooter at 40%. Jewell for Jeff knocks this one down, and he's still shooting well better than 80% in the tournament from the line.
Plenty of time left.
Jeff down 6, and Jewell can cut it to 5. If Jeff gets into the situation where they have to foul, they like to see Barrett in the ball game. scoring